Hello, welcome back. Today we're taking something really ordinary, a stack of old envelopes, and we are making these layered elements for your journals. So I'm going to show you exactly how I made these. We're going to be stamping, stenciling, embossing, napkin art, and it's messy, creative, and a great way to use what you've already got. So you can make them single, you can make them on any type of envelope with any supplies you've got. I'll be giving you alternatives throughout the video, so let's get into it. You start by choosing some envelopes. I always like to have a few different sizes, and I like to keep them quite small so that they fit in a pocket in my journal. This is homemade, and it's basically just gesso and powder with a little bit of one of my sprays. I've made some alcohol sprays, and so I thought I'd have a go at them. And I've just put a bit of, just to make them not white. So I'm just going to add, I've only got a little tiny bit. I didn't want to make up a whole load. I like the dots. Let's put some dots on. And I'm going to do this on just on some of the envelopes, not on all of them. You can leave it white. And I haven't got any ratios. I just put it in. I just make up a little bit as I need it, because I don't do it often enough to have a load. One more, because I've got the stuff left. Let's use this one. Just to add some texture to your envelopes. So I've got that much left, so that's what we're going to do. Should we? I think I'll have more dots. I like the dots. And I can only do one side because it's wet. Let's just have it coming down here. There we go. Maybe a couple more in this little corner just to use up what I've got on my knife. Right, so we're going to let that dry. And then we're going to do another technique. And I'm going to clean that up. And this with some baby wipe. I don't wash these. I never wash this down the sink because it can clog your sink up. So, and I don't want that. I don't want a bill for that. So I always just use baby wipes to clean these up. Just a little tip for you. I know you probably already do that, but... Okay, while they're drying, we're going to work on another couple of the envelopes, and I thought we'd do some stenciling. So I'm just putting different elements on all of the sort of envelopes. And I've got my distress ink here. So if you haven't got the texture paste, you can just stencil to give yourself that. It not really texture, but it just still looks like texture. So there you go. And we can do the other side because it's not wet. There we go. And let's do this one. I've got this really cool one. If I get it up the right way. Let's do that down there. No, I wasn't going to do. I was going to do a pink one, just to show you that it doesn't have to be completely all grungy. You can add an element of colour. I know, it doesn't happen very often. It's probably still going to be quite grungy when I'm finished. But you're just adding sort of layers to your envelopes. Let's put that on there. So that's those ones. We can carry on with these ones because they're nice and dry. So what we can also do, I did tell you I'd made some alcohol ink. This is it. And I'm super happy with how it turned out. And it hasn't cost me anything because I had the stuff already. And I'm just going to show you what else you can do. I'm not going to use this one. This one's quite thin. So I'm going to just distress that one a bit more in a minute. This one's a thick one, so it might stand the inks. And all I did was I put some old markers. I took the middles out, put them in here, and put in a little bit of rubbing alcohol. That's all I did. And it's just turned into these really fun little sprays. And I can just add to my work. I've always wanted some, but I'd never wanted to pay the price. Because they're silly money. I mean, these have cost me, well, I think it was £3 for a big thing of rubbing alcohol from my pharmacy. And the bottles. And that's it. So that is another element that you can put onto your envelopes. We're going to let that one just dry off. It does dry really, really fast. So the other thing that you can put onto your envelopes to decorate them up is some stamping. And if you use this permanent one, which is like stays on, memento, something like that, then you can put wet stuff on top. I'm probably not going to, but we will just add some of these. And this is all you need to do. Just play with your, oops, I'm going to need that, aren't I? And on this one, I've got some, you can do script. I've just got this really cheap one, must have come off the front of a magazine or something. And I quite like the flowers, so I'm going to do those. And just, they don't have to be perfect. In fact, I might do one on this one as well. Not a flower. Let's choose something else. Let's choose this. Ooh, anything you like, whatever stamps you've got. There's no sort of rules. You just use whatever supplies you've got. I mean, this is it's quite a weird little thing, so we're just going to see what happens. I haven't used it before. That's quite pretty. In fact, we could do another one over here. And it makes like a frame in the middle. So that's another way to add another layer. As you can see, these are the ones I was playing with. And that's the next thing we're going to do, is put them through the embossing machine. If you haven't got one, you can skip this step, or there is a way, I believe, that you can do it with a rolling pin. I think there's videos out there about that. Right, put that away. Let's get that out and do that. I've got a couple of different things. I don't use this very often either, and I've got these and I should use them. I never know which way up they go or what things I need to use on here. So bear with me. And we're just going to put the whole thing in and see what happens. Right, let's try it just with that. That might do. Oh, that's perfect. And I'm only just going to go through once like that. It's just pressure you need on there. And that has just put some nice little print back to front. I knew I'd do it back to front. Oh no, I haven't. I've actually done it the right way round. Go me. it's made it very fragile. It was a very, very thin envelope. So I've got another one, which has just got a picture of a flower on it. And I might put that on. It's got a butterfly there. That might work. Let's put it through, see what happens. See what happens. It's all just playing. So it's going to shake. I'll try to do it gently. You can pick these old ones up second hand now. They're quite good. So just gives another layer on your envelopes. So I'll do... Okay, these are now dry, and all I've done is inked around all the edges of my envelopes. This is definitely compromised. This was way too thin to be embossed. But do you know what? It's fine. I've got an idea how I'm going to fix that. So just to give these a bit more something, we're going to grab... Yes, we're going to do more inking. And I haven't done that one yet. I'm going to do that one in a minute. And I've got a big stencil, and I'm just going to go over. This probably won't show up much on the brown. In fact, I could use the pink. That might work. Oh, it's working okay. Let's do a bit of pink. It's not pink because it's been turned brown by my lovely inking. Turn it over. There's nothing on the back. This stencil is really good. I use it all the time in my journals, and it makes it... Oops, you see, that's what I do. Go to the wrong one. And it comes out in all different ways. I can use little elements of each of them. I can't remember where I got it from, but it's really cool. Right, this one I haven't done yet because I wanted to show you in case you're really, really new and you don't really know how to do this sort of thing. I'm just going to do this once. I'm just to give your envelopes a little bit of an aged effect. You can do this around the edge, which automatically makes them look a bit more old and a bit more grungy. As you know, grungy is my thing. And don't forget to do this bit. I'm going to use this now, because and I'm going to use this because I'm going to go over the top. And I just think that makes it just look even better. So you've got all your edges done. And I'm only going to do this once because most of us have already done this. I'm just going to get a scrap of paper and I'm going to show you because you may not know, and all I do is, let's turn this way, is just come down onto my envelope from a scrap of paper like that, and that will do your edge, okay? Because you can't leave that little bit not done. And I also just do this bit as well here. And I just think it adds a little bit more. So as you can see, very, very grungy. Love it. Let's put that one away. I'm going to add, again, a different bit of this stamp to here. And it's just a case of playing with whatever supplies you've got, because there's so many ways you can make these. If you don't want to make them grungy like this, then obviously you use your pretty colours. But I quite like this. So I'm going to do I'm going to go to there. And this is what I mean by you can just move your stencil down and do that. And then I can put maybe this one in this corner like that. Just covering it all up, making it super cool. And you can just do a couple of flowers. You can just do that wherever they are. Put them over the top. Just do some leaves. And I've got a big corner one here which I can put down here. This is all from one stencil. So these need stamping. So I'm just going to repeat what I did on here. So this one, which I have compromised, unfortunately, we're going to have to do something with. And I'm thinking maybe we add some napkin. So I've got this pretty one that I think if I put on here, it may just stop that falling to pieces. So I've got some of this. This is really, really old. And I got it from the car boot. Oh, goodness knows how long ago. And I'm going to pour it into there because it's here. You know. Right, so I need something inside. And I'm going to put that in there because this is shiny, so it shouldn't stick. And I'm going to put some of this Mod Podge. You can use Mod Podge, you can use glue. I wouldn't use glue stick at this very precise moment in time because I'm liable to rip it completely. So let's just put this on like that. And we're just going to see what sticks and what doesn't. And I'm not worried about the wrinkles. And I think that should help to seal that down. We will see. In fact, I think I'm going to add some napkin to one of my others as well. Which other one should we put it on? Should we give this one a bit of colour? Let's do a bit on there. I need to find another napkin. Okay, I've got a little piece. This is all that's left. So we can add some of this. Let's just... I'm going to use this. I've got it out. I might as well use it. And this is why we've used permanent ink. Because we might want to add something on top. Let's just take that off. And I'm going to add another layer over the top to seal it. You can seal that with anything. Mod Podge is great. That will seal it perfectly well. So we're going to be waiting for things to dry again, aren't we? Now, what if I only want a little bit? Is that going to look weird? I'm going to put it on anyway. I'm going to put some down here. Just like that. I'm just going to add little bits. This is a tissue that I've used and this is all that's left. So use up your scraps. Where have you heard that before? Was it here? Oh, it might have been. What about this one? This looks pretty. I know I could use my wet brush, but you all know that. I'm just cutting these out because I just want like one element on there. You can put whatever you like. You can put stickers. Use what you've got in your stash. Use up what you've got in your stash. And I just think they just add something really fun. That looks really nice. I like that one. I'm going to do that again on here. Because I like it. Which one should we choose? that yellow one in the middle. Or that one there, which I can get to. I'm not that worried. If I was fussing, I would get my water brush out, but I'm not. Let's just pop this one on. I might put it underneath the flower. There we go. And I'm still debating whether to run these through the embossing machine as well. I'm just wondering about that one. So it's now just a case of adding bits and pieces to your envelopes. So I'm going to put this on there. And you'll still be able to see underneath, which is, I like, it is just so cool. Right, so I'm going to finish these off, wait for them to dry, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with them. So I still wasn't happy with this. I feel like it's just not going to last, and that isn't how I make my journals. So I thought I'd just pop on and show you how I fixed it, or how I hope I'm going to fix it. So I'm going to take it apart by cutting down these sides with my knife very carefully. I'm hoping this is going to work because I'm out of ideas. And this bit that's really fragile, I'm going to cover with some of this. That's the perfect size. Let's just cut that. I'm going to cut it because if I try and rip that, you know it's not going to work. So we're going to just cover that up with this and hope that that makes it a bit stronger. You have some PVA, which has just been watered down. As you can see, I've just watered it. I'm going to put PVA on here. Now, this is either going to cure it or completely ruin it. So, you know, we've got a 50-50 chance here. But I thought I'd just show you, you know, that things do go wrong in junk journaling, but we can always try and fix them. And sometimes it might end up better. And other times it might not. So we'll see which one that category falls into. And I'm just going to pop this on. Yeah, we'll put it that way. Doesn't really make any difference. And just sort of push it down with the brush. I'm not really going to do another layer of glue, just using what I've got left. And of course, we're going to have to wait for that to dry, which is great because I've got to go out into the garden and do all the jobs I was going to do before it started raining this Easter weekend. So we're going to let that dry. I'm going to go and wash my brush up and then we'll be back. And it'll be like that for you. Do you see I can do that? Ha! Well, all dry. And I believe that solved the problem. Look at that. Much stronger. So all it remains to do is to re-glue it. Because, obviously, we cut down the sides. So, a bit of glue down both these edges. So, let's get all the envelopes in and have a look. I have put a, whatever they're called, you know, seal, wax seal on that one. And I've popped inside a little vintage letter. I don't know how old it is. 1976. So that's original ephemera in there. And pretty little envelope. Turned out wonderful, didn't it? This one, this little baby, I've put a little bit of original ephemera in too. you can put whatever you like in these. I'm just giving you a few examples. In this one, I've just put some printed tickets. So you could put them in, or a journaling card, something like that. Get in. You fitted, I know you did. Don't want to go back in. There we go. This one has a vintage postcard from the Dead Sea. Yeah. Nice. So that was, I haven't got a date on it, but it looks old. And I love how grungy this one turned out. And of course this one, which I haven't got anything in yet, but you can put photos in. Just something like that. And then you can pop them in your journal. So the best thing I think for these is to, maybe you could stack them like this and tie them up. Now I've got a couple. I'm going to make sort of two. I love stacked envelopes. So if we just did, how do you do this so the knot is on the top? That way. That way. Goodness me. I can tell I'm getting tired today. And then just tie a lovely little bow on the top. And what a gorgeous little thing to put in your journals. If you don't have sari silk, use what you've got. You can use wool. I've got some seam binding here. I might not have enough. We'll see. Nope. So what we'll do is we will just tie it round once. If you don't have enough, you don't have enough. Or I might have to put a stamp on that one. I haven't got round to that, have I yet? Oop, it's spinning. You don't have to tie them together at all. You can just stack them up. I just think they look really cool. Start sewing together. And then you just need a big pocket in your journal. Now, while I was waiting for all those to dry in between, I did make a big pocket. So it's just 2 pages of the map book. And it makes a really big pocket, look. So I can put all these in there like that. I'll keep these ones out because they might go in a journal very soon. But how cool is that? There's a page idea, the first idea in the book. So I will put the date up here and maybe a bit of journaling. But that is it for today. So thank you so much for joining me. I do hope that you've found it interesting. Do let me know in the comments. So stay tuned. You never know what ideas I'm going to come up with to put in this big junk journal. I'll see you very soon. Bye.